and welcome back to my channel. And today I thought of doing my first segment in my About Korea. So today I'm going to be talking about how did I get here? Okay, what is the job that I'm doing here in Korea and how did I land it? So this goes back to 2 years ago when I knew that I was going to be finishing up my PhD in the next year. So that was in the year 2018 fall, and that's around September-ish. That's when I was talking to my advisor, and we were figuring out a timeline for the end of my PhD, and it looked very good that I was going to be finishing in 1 year. So I would be done around May-ish of 2019, which meant that I was on the job market. So that's when the job search began. And when you're on the academic job market, you have to apply to a bunch of different positions, and the timeline usually starts around September if you want to apply for a job that starts the next September. Yeah, timelines for job markets are very, very, very large. So that's when I began applying to all different kinds of postdoctoral positions, mainly because I was interested in pursuing the academic route. And I applied not only in America but also in Korea and in the UK and a couple other countries. And this takes a very long time. I mean, let me tell you one thing. Job application is a full-time job. Trust me, I know. And I'm kind of in it right now again. So if any of you out there who's watching this video wants to give me a job for next year, contact me. So I will be starting to apply for jobs very, very soon for next fall. So if any of you know a job for an astrophysicist, contact me. So there is this website that we use in my field for astrophysics called the AAS Job Register. And most places that want to advertise for not only postdoctoral jobs but also tenure track positions put their job ads on that website. And then you have all of the information about all of the jobs and what the jobs will entail, where you will have to be for the job, and what your expectations are, and when you have to apply by. So I applied, as I said, to a bunch of different jobs, including this one. And turns out that the professor that I'm working with right now, I actually met him at a conference a couple years before then. So when I looked at that position, I was like, oh, okay, I know who this person is. So yeah, number one thing which is really helpful in job applications is networking, which is why I also went to a lot of different conferences when I was in my final year of the PhD and even before then, which really helps get the word out that you're working on something, and also just you make really nice friends in whatever field you are. So network. And then in January, I went to another conference called the AAS, which is the American Astronomical Society's annual conference. So they have two. One is the winter conference that I went to in Seattle, and the other one is a summer one, which I believe happened online. You know why. So that's where I had an interview with my current professor. I think the interview went well because I'm here now. And that's how I landed the job here. So I really thought that the work they're doing here was quite interesting, and it related a bit to the work that I had done before during my PhD. And all of this is about supermassive black holes. And if any of you are interested in watching my PhD dissertation, I'll leave a link down below to that, where I talk about supermassive black holes in the nearby universe and what happens when two galaxies which contain two supermassive black holes merge. And then the black holes collide and become one and start moving about in the galaxy. To know more, check out that video. So, to recap, for those of you who are asking me, because this is one of the questions that I get on social media all the time, is if I'm a student here. And no, I am not a student here. I actually work here in Korea as a postdoctoral researcher. So, what a postdoctoral researcher is a person who has had their PhD and is now working in the capacity as a scientific researcher in the project at wherever the university or a scientific institution like NASA has a lot of postdocs, Space Telescope Science Institute has a lot of postdoc, and in Korea there's also KASI, which is the Korean Astronomical Space Science Institute, also hires lots of postdocs, as well as, of course, universities. So universities can gain postdocs through usually two different methods. One of them is that you bring your own funding, which is you apply for, say, a government grant, or you apply for a grant from some other institute which gives out grants for researchers, and then you bring that money into a university and you're allowed to do independent research. And then the second way is the way that I have gotten here is the professor that I'm working with has a grant for a particular project, and he can bring on postdocs to work on that project. So the postdocs are paid through the grant, and that is how I got here. So if you have any questions related to that, I can try my best to answer them, but unfortunately I won't be able to answer questions about being a student here in Korea. So if you want to know more about that, I would encourage you to check out either the university websites, because they usually have a lot of information about how someone can become either an exchange student over here if that's what you're interested in, or if you want to become a full-time student over here, they have several different undergraduate and graduate programs that you can apply for. And there's always language school, which sometimes are with the university, or there are also specific language schools that you can apply to attend. So do check those out. If you have any other questions, let me know and I shall try to answer them. Until next time, bye.